All right, let's jump right in. We're tackling the one topic that seems to be on everyone's mind. How do you deal with the AI-driven job market? And we're not just talking about surviving. We're talking about how you can actually thrive in, say, 2026.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? It's that nagging feeling in the back of your head. You see the headlines, you hear about these incredible new tools, and you just can't help but wonder, is my job next on the chopping block? It's a tension that pretty much every single professional is feeling right now. And look, let's be totally honest, that concern is real. Some jobs are at risk of being displaced, but so is the opportunity. The goal here isn't to try and compete with the machines, no way. It's to become the person who knows how to leverage them better than anyone else in the room.
So, what does that actually look like in practice? Well, the most valuable skills for 2026, believe it or not, have nothing to do with becoming a machine learning expert overnight. Nope. They're all about learning how to strategically use AI to amplify the work you're already doing. It's a brand new kind of literacy, and we're going to break it down into three core skills.
First thing to get is that this isn't just a tech industry thing anymore. This is an every industry transformation. We're seeing demand for AI skills just skyrocketing across the board. And roles that used to be the bedrock of an office, accounting, administration, they're suddenly vulnerable because AI is just so good at those routine tasks. Which leads to the most important point. The future belongs to those who really truly master human AI collaboration. So let's start with skill number one. This is maybe the most immediately impactful one. Taking all of that repetitive, soul-crushing, low-value stuff you do every day and just getting it off your plate for good. This is all about mastering workflow automation so you can free up your brain for what really matters. So, what in the world is workflow automation? Well, put simply, it's using tools that act like digital glue between all the different apps you use. Think of it like setting up a line of dominoes. You do the work once to get them all lined up, and then they just keep knocking each other over perfectly every single time. And the best part? Often, you don't have to write a single line of code. Okay, let's make this real. Picture this happening instantly. A new customer fills out a form on your site. The system immediately reads their attached document and gives you a summary. Then it creates a new task in your project manager, pings the right person on Slack, and adds a new row to your spreadsheet to track it. All of that happens in a blink without you lifting a finger. So, where do you even start? Well, there are kind of two main paths you can take. If you're just dipping your toes in, a tool like Zapier is your best friend. It's super user-friendly. But once you get the hang of it and you find yourself wanting more power to build really complex systems, then it's probably time to look at something like N18. And this right here, this is the ultimate payoff. This is why you do it. You shift from being just a processor of requests, manually forwarding emails, finding a time on everyone's calendar, to being someone who actually makes things happen. You get to focus on strategy, on building relationships, the high-impact work that only a human can really do. And that leads us perfectly into our next skill. All right, so once you've automated all those simple, repetitive tasks, it's time to level up. This next skill is about moving away from giving AI a checklist of steps to follow and instead giving it a goal to achieve. We're talking about something called agentic systems. And honestly, this is a total game changer. Unlike a simple automation that just does the same thing over and over, you can give an AI agent a complex objective. It will then actually reason, plan, and use different tools to figure out how to get it done all by itself. Think about a prompt like this. This is not a simple command. You're giving the AI a high-level research and analysis task that not too long ago would have taken a junior analyst hours, maybe even days, to finish. The AI agent handles opening the files, figuring out what's important, and putting it all into a neat summary for you. So, you might be thinking, okay, if the AI is doing all the hard analysis, where do I fit in? Well, your value completely shifts. You become the director. You're the one who has the business context to ask the right questions in the first place. You have the expertise to double-check the AI's output. And most importantly, you're the one who can take those findings and turn them into a real strategic decision. And that brings us to our final and I think most critical set of skills. Now that we have these incredibly powerful automations and agent systems, we need to master the one thing they don't have. And that's human judgment, skepticism, and strategic insight. This is exactly why a human needs to be in the loop. I mean, just imagine a hacker embedding a hidden instruction like this into a document your AI is processing. An AI might just follow the order. Without human judgment, the consequences could be absolutely catastrophic. Understanding these kinds of risks is how you make yourself indispensable.
This really shows the difference, doesn't it? A basic user might just say, hey, summarize this for me. But a high-leverage user, they interrogate the document. They use AI not just to save a few minutes, but to deepen their own understanding by asking these really pointed, strategic questions that the AI can help answer at lightning speed.
So here's the key. Stop treating AI chats like they're disposable. Instead, you want to build lasting assets. Create a custom GPT that's an expert on your company's branding. Turn your team's Notion space into a smart database you can actually ask questions of. Use the AI that's built into your project management tools to spot bottlenecks that you might have totally missed.
Okay, we have to talk about probably the most important truth of this whole AI era. These tools get things wrong. And when they do, they sound incredibly, convincingly, and confidently incorrect. A lot of people are going to get burned because they just blindly trust whatever the AI spits out.
So this is your defense. You need to develop these simple habits. Always spot check the most important data points. Make the AI show you its work. Ask for the sources. Before you trust it with something really important, test it on a problem you already know the answer to. And just trust your gut. If it sounds way too certain for the little bit of info you gave it, be suspicious. The person who catches the AI's mistakes before they become big problems, that person is invaluable.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. As you start using these tools more and more, are you using them as a crutch just to get through your to-do list? Or are you using them as a lever to fundamentally expand what you are capable of achieving? The answer to that question is really going to define your career in 2026 and beyond.